Alright, boys. Yeah, I don't always look like this, I know. I've got some shit going on. Look, I've got I'm in for a bit of an operation, so. Where's Max? All right, mate. Come down here. Now, it's interesting when I first heard of this man, I was happened to be looking in the newspaper, saw this story about this giant that was wanting to get drafted. I said, and for some reason I thought, we're going to get him.
Jimmy is, it started when I first got to the club. The 6 draftees walked into the Melbourne boardroom and we met Stynes and he sort of pinpointed me out in front of everyone and said how excited he was for me to be at the Melbourne Football Club.
And I thought, wouldn't it be great to get someone who's doing it a bit differently? I did it a bit differently, and why can't you do it?
I got the number 37, which was obviously a big moment for me, and Stynes, he's got a motto that he lived by, whatever it takes, which, when you put into context with him, whatever it takes was quite extreme. Lucky enough to get given number 11 as well. I still look at the number every chance I get before the game. As soon as I look at the 11, it reminds me of Stynes and reminds me of his battle and what I can do on the MCG to make the number 11 proud.
We wish you good luck this week in your first game, and can't wait to see you do it. And I just want to wish you all the best. And I'm very proud, very, very proud.
What a memory that is. Max Gawn receiving the jumper from Jim Stynes. Max, welcome back to AFL 360.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Hello, Max.
What does it do to you to watch that?
Yeah, I've watched it a couple of times and it gets me every time. The main thing that gets to me is the reason why he presented to me on the Thursdays, because he couldn't come on the Saturday because he had more treatment. So he managed to come out in between his treatments to come down to Casey, which isn't the most pleasant drive, and got down there and presented me my jumper. So it's something that I've hold to me, yeah.
To think if Jimmy was still alive, to know you, Max, and acknowledge you as everyone else does as the best ruckman in the competition from that first day to now. It's been a great journey. I'm not wanting you to say how great you are, but Jim would be just so proud, wouldn't he?
I'm not too worried about me as a footballer with Jim. I think Jim sort of created the person I am now. I reckon to be proud of how I act as a person. An 18-year-old Max Gawn that walked into the Melbourne Football Club is definitely not the 25-year-old person I am now. My personality might be the same, but there's a lot of things that have changed, like your professionalism, your work ethic and stuff like that, which I owe a lot to him. And
then you're an ambassador for Reach, the program that Jim started.
Yeah, Reach, it's a program where youths lead youths. It's similar to football, where peers lead peers into making the best decisions. So I see the correlation strong between Reach and football and Reach and Melbourne with Jimmy.
And this is something that you're driving especially strongly yourself. This is obviously something that you've taken to heart.
Yeah, I was very lucky. I got Jimmy for 2 years, and a lot of people probably didn't get to meet him. And I still see there's the legacy of Jim in Reach. So if we're able to get Reach out there, more and more people will get that little Jim Stynes that I got.
And so this is the Reach game coming up this weekend, and the request is to donate $11 to text 11 to 0455 021 021. And you've rallied the Melbourne players to sort of make the first step in this, and you've raised a good whack of money to start with.
Yeah, the Melbourne boys have donated $5.
Live
do you want me to hold this?
I can, with your new contract.
Here we go.
What is it?
$5,000 from the Melbourne boys. You get a bit of money donated from your match fee to charities throughout the year, and Reach is the Melbourne boys' chosen charity, so $5,000 to kickstart that, and hopefully everyone else text text 11 for $11 to help the cause.
You players get your head kicked in sometimes when you just muck up. You're not getting paid to come in here tonight. You don't really want to talk about the game on Saturday. You drove all the way in just to talk about really Jim Stynes and the Reach program. Yeah,
and I mean the Reach charity means a bit to me personally as well, with friends and family and so on. So I honestly believe there's no need for any other charity if we get Reach into all schools, because it'll stop people from getting to that point where they do need those charities.
We talk a little bit of footy?
More than happy to.
It was a good start. Give us an idea of, so we've debated this all week. The ball was thrown up and there's no third man. What did that do to your capacity to ruck the way you want to ruck?
It was a very different rucking game.
Yeah.
What was that?
Very good.
Not many people would have realised that so much different things happened on the weekend for the ruckman, but the ball was thrown up. It was very soft in the middle, and normally I'm not a big fan of that because it allows someone who can jump to time their run to perfection. But it was round one. I wanted to show off the best I could, and I tried to go in there with the biggest intensity I could and got my knee in there.
He's got you before.
He has.
Hickey.
He's got me twice.
He's a pretty good player.
Yep.
And I hope he's not watching this. He probably don't care, but you obliterated him, mate. I mean, it was as comprehensive a ruck display we've seen.
It's funny, I'm finding
time.
now I'm 40-odd games in a row, 40, 50 games, you're playing guys more and more times. So I've versed Cruiser 3 or 4 times in the last 40 games, and we're about 2-2 as well, so there's some good battles to keep going.
We got him on Saturday. What does he do that annoys you or beats you?
His follow-up's as good as Shane Mumford's. He's obviously had some injury problems over his career, but he's played 40, 50 games in a row now, and his follow-up's really good, and his arms are quite long.
You watched him last week?
Yeah, I did watch him last week.
He was pretty good last week.
He played very, very, very well.
Is his arms longer than yours? Is his arms weirdly long or just a little bit long?
I think in the record they'd say mine are bigger, but he seems to hold them higher.
Have you got big hands? Have you got big hands?
Is this good live TV? Do you want to try? Is that big?
Yeah, it is pretty big.
They are big hands.
What about you, Knuckles?
Oh,
we're about the
too
same.
bad.
We're about the same.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
I don't know what that's got to do with ruck work.
All right, play the weekend forecast with us. A sure thing for round 2. What have you come up with, mate?
Yeah, my short thing is Clayton Oliver's going to go back-to-back. He's going to go 35 2 weeks in a row here.
Oh, do you like hitting it to him, or he just hit it in his area?
His hands are the cleanest I've seen of a kid.
Are they big hands?
They're big hands, and he's come
they?
straight out of tuck up with them.
Is he? God, he's poor. 14 games.
Yeah.
Yours?
I
Your
think
thing?
tagging will return.
Where?
It may not be this weekend,
Yep.
but there's got to be a stage where the opposition coach is going to say, we just can't allow this guy to continue to run around and get the ball in our 18-man defence. It's just not good enough. It'll have to change, and then tagging will return. You?
There will be a giant response. Of all the teams we see push back against what happened in round 1, GWS will be the biggest. I fear for the Suns. Most at stake?
Most at stake is good his record. He's 1-0. And his JLT stuff's pretty good as well. I think he's 5 from 6, so he's got a pretty good record. He's got to keep that going.
That was an easy one, wasn't it? Mine's Hawthorn.
Yep.
For what everyone has said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're done.
Dustin Martin, do it again. Do it against better opposition. Do it when you're the focus, and graduate to the player that we all think you're going to be. Do it again.
Fair.
Doomsday scenario, the worst thing